What's good, beautiful people? Welcome to 2.5 Husbands, where we celebrate becoming better husbands.
It's 2.5, even though there are 3 husbands, and that's because at some point, one of us, if not all of us, was not fully the husband that we were supposed to be.
And that's why we actually come here on a weekly basis to discuss some of the issues that we face, some of the issues we are seeing around us, and we hope that the journey that we started with you and for you is going to benefit you,
and yours. All right, gentlemen, it's the first episode.
Yep.
How you guys doing?
Good, bro.
You good?
Excited,
fly like
excited,
a pilot.
excited for the future.
Pilot episode.
Because it's the pilot.
Pilot episode.
Amen.
Come on now.
And a woman.
Come on.
Guys, we need to talk about friends in marriage.
Yep.
Friendships in marriage, but particularly opposite sex friendships in marriage.
Hundreds.
I actually want to know, where do you guys stand with regards to this chat?
Let's-
Just off the bat, like
Hundreds.
what's your initial...
Before we go far, let's just define first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
Define
friendship.
what friendship is. Are there levels to this thing? Are we talking chomza, bestie? Are we talking
Yeah.
brother, sister?
Personally, me, I'm at levels to this thing. Shout out, AKA RIP.
Yes,
Right,
brother.
right.
But there's levels to this thing.
Yeah.
That's my view.
Right.
We can unpack it as we go. That's me.
So that's your short definition.
There's levels. There's
Okay.
levels.
If
Me, I don't want levels. I don't want there to be levels.
what do you want?
No, there shouldn't be levels to the friendships. Just
What?
Just friendships.
Just friendship.
friendship. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's because I feel like it would confuse me. So I'm just like, nope.
Okay.
Okay, let's confuse you. It's fine.
Levels.
But that's my starting thought.
No, hundreds.
Yeah.
Levels. No levels. Just
levels.
friendship. You define what that is.
Yeah.
Nakiri, no friendship.
At all.
Zero.
So no levels.
No levels. No friendship. Zero.
Oh, okay. So maybe let me give meat to what I'm saying, right? So
Hundreds.
when I speak about not having levels, I feel like I don't have a lot of room and a lot of grace for gray areas when
Okay.
it comes to friendships in marriage.
So define what a friendship is.
So what I would define a friendship
Because we're
is...
saying opposite sex friendship. So a friendship with your wife has a friendship with a dude.
Okay.
Or you have a friendship.
Or you have a friendship with a girl.
Okay, I should define that friendship.
What is that?
Ish. What it should be.
Oh, all right. Okay.
What it should not be. Let me
right.
start there, right? What it should not be.
Qualifiers.
What it should not be is my wife or me finding comfort and finding rest in another person of the opposite sex, right? That should be found in marriage. So it's okay to know someone.
Good. Okay.
It's okay to know someone. It's okay to have common interests. It's all good. But those things are not enough for you to have to at times feel like I need to speak to this person.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boss.
If you're going through a lot, and it should never be the case that I really need to speak to Ntabi Seng
Over your wife.
over my wife.
Okay. I pushed
I
back.
tried.
I pushed back.
Yeah, but
it's
you don't
fine.
even want
No, it's
friendships.
fine. Let me go now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
Then we'll come to you because he's not even on our...
He's not
if
even
we're on
there,
a
bro.
spectrum, he's in another chapter.
Amen.
And we are on... Maybe
I'm not even in the book.
Yeah.
Not even in the book,
The book doesn't exist.
Exactly. I'm in a different chapter. You're in
levels.
a different... But I feel like you're almost saying what I'm saying, but let's see. Because you said you don't have
Okay.
for gray areas. My thing, there's levels. One, strangers. People who you just meet at the mall. The guy you always give a head shake at the gym.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's, again, don't know why you'd be giving a head shake to a lady at the gym. But...
You see her there, she's always
Let's-
there. You're like, hey,
Hi.
using the same machine you did last week. I know
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Hi, how are you?
I don't even know.
Sometimes
why
we rotate.
I don't know why you're noticing, but anyway.
Cool. I don't have any of those. We just, okay,
Yeah.
cool. You need to use the machine. Cool. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. So strangers, acquaintances, people I know, people I work with,
Yeah.
etc. Because I'm like, I need to have a relationship with those people because we work together
Yes.
or we can learn from each other. And I think that's an important facet that we need to cater for in the grander scheme of things. Then there's casual friends beyond the circles that we meet, whether it's at a game or a common interest or whatever. Maybe we went to school together, all these things. Casual friends, again, the reason why I make that separation
Yeah.
is because the last two that I have, which is close friends and intimate friends, I'm like, nah, we're not playing there.
Okay.
Which is
So you're
people you
reserving-
confide in
Yes.
is just men.
Yes.
And
If you're a man.
if you're a man,
yeah.
Okay.
females, if you're a female,
Yeah.
and then intimacy, which is someone who knows me through and through, is my
your
wife,
wife.
and maybe just a few gents who can walk and
Yeah.
help me navigate
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
in terms of all of those things. But again, close friends and above, the only opposite sex I'm having is my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I hear you guys. Gang.
Yes.
Right? I just feel like if you think there's room for gray area.
Yeah.
I just feel
I'm
like
saying there's no room.
combined. It's a slippery
gray.
slope.
Why? Mapele, what happened in your life for you to... What happened?
You know when sometimes like as duckies, ne? We don't need words to describe things.
You just know.
You just see king, keep
Give it a pop.
give it. Right? This one.
No, but what happened for you to...
No, nothing happened to me.
What is it that led you to a point where you're just like, you don't even have...
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
I think if you think there's gray area, I just think like this whole thing is a slippery slope.
Okay.
There should be very hard, clear categories.
But you guys were friends with your wives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, I went in, I was a sniper. I was going to get my woman's.
but here's
they
the-
all were friends.
No,
So
here's
you're
the-
confusing me, you
No,
gents.
no,
We were
I'm not.
confiding and being confided.
It's because I was a friend with my
Okay.
wife.
Oh.
That I can have these clear categories.
These are my
man.
confessions.
So now your friendships lead to marriage.
That's
One.
that's why he's like
One.
Yeah.
One. Which we'll get into. But here's my thing, right? And me and my wife were friends, but we were not married to other people.
Okay.
So I'm saying opposite sex friendships become tricky when you're married.
Okay, fair.
Outside
Okay.
of marriage, yes, we can speak about the trickiness of that. But hey, we're not here. This is a podcast about married guys, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, once you get married, priorities change, right?
Spot on.
My wife is number one priority, and
Yes.
hoping and praying that I am number one priority to her. In fact, she confessed, she did the vows. We know.
Those are the
We're
levels.
each other's priorities. What that means, she walks into a room, and there's me and anyone else, right? Particularly in this situation, females.
Yeah.
My wife will not have doubts
That
she
she's
is
first.
number one
Amen.
in that whole room. Right?
Amen.
So
And the
if
woman.
I have friends, let's say hypothetically, I wasn't friends with my wife, right? And I was friends with somebody else, and then I met my wife. We started dating. I made my intentions clear that I want to marry her.
Yeah.
The other friend I had, backseat, far.
Oh, yeah?
I will move from driving a Golf, ne? And she's sitting next to me as my friend. Once I meet my wife and I make my intentions clear, I'm suddenly driving a Quantum. This friend is at the back.
Okay.
She must know
Or
that
in the
she's-
trailer.
And her position or place will be determined by my wife. My wife is gonna say,
Yeah.
out of the car, out of the Quantum, or she's in the trailer. It's up to my wife.
So,
right?
yeah.
So anyway, I mean, I went around, but what I'm saying is, for me, I want clear categories, and those categories that work. So don't hear me wrong. My wife is watching this, right? The categories that work for me is brother or sister, because that adds a different layer, right?
Yeah.
But friends, I'm like, whether it's casual, the head nod, whether it's a slippery slope and fight. And it's not that I don't trust my wife.
Yeah.
I don't trust the chomies.
Yeah. We don't trust homies.
Homies and chomies don't trust B.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Right? Again, whether we want to be superstitious and what the marriage is under attack. Sure, dog. Right? I need to protect my marriage. And this is me protecting it.
Sure,
Categories are clear, right?
Right.
You guys
Bet.
are my wife's brothers. That's a different level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
She knows your mom. She knows your dad. She knows your brothers. My wife knows your parents. Knows your brother. We know each other.
Yeah.
We're in each other's lives. That can stupid things still happen?
Yes.
Sure, we're humans, right? But I just think a lot of other stupid things happen with chomies. Brother and sister, soda.
So I see what you're saying, right? And I think it makes me question my stance in the sense that I don't want to rule out the possibility of me or my wife having common interests with someone else and exploring those.
Okay.
But I hear what you are saying, and that's where then it has me asking myself, I'm like, what does it mean for you or your wife to have common interests with someone else? How far does it go in terms of experiencing those common interests? You get what I'm saying? Because I'm also very wary of painting a bad picture on friendship to the point where I'm just like, what was it before I got married?
Sure.
What were we doing before I got married
Sure.
that I don't want us doing now?
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
Sure.
But I hear the wisdom behind what you are saying, because it's one of those things where I'm just like, yes, you also don't want to seem legalistic, or you don't want to seem ignorant, or whatever the case is. Too tight,
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just like, but there's a lot of wisdom that needs to be deployed in how we, in my case, share those common interests.
And maybe let me also put a disclaimer, right? It's not like my wife is out there just looking to make friends with any.
It's safe to say we're at that age where we probably don't even
No new friends.
But sure, I mean, my wife was, I mean, that's how we ended up as friends. You know, all her, or most of her friends in high school, she had like 2 or 3 were guys. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But I grew up with sisters. All my cousins are girls. I probably have like 2 male cousins out of like a squad of 13 or whatever.
Sure.
I grew up with my aunts, so I gravitate towards females, and I think that's how we became friends, right? But even then, all my friendships, bro, I never have, and that's why I probably have the issue with the term friendship, because friendship for me feels like, yeah, we're cool, right? We do life, we hang out, we do stuff. But like, there's no commitment, right?
Yeah.
We can easily bounce out of each other's lives, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But everyone that I've ever been a friend, quote unquote, with, I've always treated as family, right?
Okay.
Brother, sister, we always tight.
Yeah.
I'm in your life, you in my life. You know what I mean? I've never been with. There's probably thousands of people who think I'm their friend, right? And I'm not. By your definition, I'm just friendly. Yeah. We're cool. We hang out, blah, blah, blah. And they think, yes, this guy's my homie. And I'm like, I don't have homies, me. I don't.
Yeah.
Right? And so, and luckily, I've seen that in my wife. She's not out there trying to make friends. People that are males in her life, with dudes, I think she would consider brothers as well. But that's me. That's me.
That's dope. And I think that definition is helpful, or that distinction rather, is helpful. I think when I look at it in terms of the categories, I do feel like there's an alignment there. So I'm not like him where I'm like, oh, okay, challenge is my stance. I'm like, but mine caters for that stuff. Yeah. Because I'm like, look here.
You're out in the cold, bro.
Yeah, I know you're alone.
You need to go have chats.
You need to find the new chapter in the book or get into another book. I don't know. We'll see where we land on that one. But my view is, on the one side, right, there's an intimacy, to your point, that exists only in the context of the marriage.
Sure.
Right? Sure. And to your point, if there was something that, friendships that I had before that need to take a back seat, then for me, I'm like, they must take a back seat.
Sure.
And if we were friends in which you understood the person that I am, and you understood the responsibility, the safety, the protection that comes with any relationship, then even the nature of our friendship, even if it wasn't having a level of intimacy attached to it, will change.
Yeah.
Even my relationship with you
married.
all changed when I got married. Yeah. Same thing when you got married. Yeah. Our relationship changes.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, whichever way.
Don't people find offense with that, though? And maybe that's something that makes this thing a hard topic for certain people. Why does it have to change? Like, man, you were cool, bro.
So here's the thing, bro. There's a saying that says, change before you have to, right? And it's part of philosophy. It's part of the normal course of life. There are different seasons in life, right? And we need to account for that, right? And I don't see why anyone would want to remain stagnant in that part of their life where I'm just like, but your social context has changed completely.
Because isn't that, sorry, I'm playing devil's advocate here. That's what single people find hard with us.
Okay, like
Right? And
used
sorry,
to be tight.
I just made an us and them, but statement. Yeah, we used
When
to
they
be
see
tight.
us.
Yeah, looking at us now. Yeah, that's the thing that they say, right? Like we were cool, and you suddenly just became weird when you got married.
It's not that I became weird. You just didn't matter as much anymore.
Hey, I didn't say that.
So here's with my chest, I say that. You don't matter as much anymore.
Sheesh.
And it's not because there's anything that changes in your worth. It's just that the amount of time on my side,
energy,
the
the
energy
resources.
that I was putting into
Okay,
our friendships,
okay,
it has to change. I'm
Spot
not
on.
gonna go out with you as much as I used to. I'm not gonna speak to you as much as I used to.
Sure.
Because right now there's someone
Sure.
else that needs me more.
Sure.
Beyond that, there's someone else I actually want to be spending my time with more. So I think it's just that whole thing of we
Okay,
need
those
to
are boys.
account for the fact that our desires also change over time. You
Now
know?
that's
Because the other thing is, even within marriage, when children come in the picture, my wife needs to be aware of the fact that certain dynamics are going to be
Okay.
affected between us. You get what I'm saying?
Aight,
But her
aight.
worth doesn't change.
So it's not to say okay,
Yeah,
with
yeah,
you.
I hope you're not saying your wife will take a backseat when you have kids.
No.
She's always in
I'm
the
just
front.
saying that she needs to acknowledge that I might struggle with priorities when the child comes, but then obviously we have to recalibrate.
In the same vein, we're not saying that your single friends take a backseat.
No.
Yes.
No, definitely.
They just
not.
occupy
Less.
a different seat in the
Yes.
bus.
Yeah, I think when with what we were talking about around the shift in the friendship and avoiding an us and them situation for me, it's and I guess maybe it's a privilege that I have had in that I think the friends that I do have who were female friends before this won't look at that as an us and them thing, as a change in value, as a you didn't matter before.
Yeah.
It's just, hey, if you know me and you understand me and know what marriage means, then this is a shift that has to take place.
And chances are
in line with
you
what you're
spoke
saying.
about it even before you got married. So it's not gonna be a shock.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's one. And then part two is, I think you would want that as well if you got married before me.
Definitely.
Because
You would
I'm not
appreciate it if
trying
you don't
to
want
be your
100.
listening ear in
Yeah,
terms of
yeah.
your marital issues
you have a husband,
when you
yeah.
have a husband. And
Sure.
I don't even know the dude, but I'm not going to do that to him.
Exactly.
Because I don't want that happening to me. So it's not an us and them. It's a, this is good for all of us.
Yeah.
And that's literally
The
like
champion
where
is the
I'll leave it.
marriage.
Yes, sir.
In our case, the champion is obviously our wives
Yeah.
in the marriage. Right?
Sure.
Yeah. So that's sort of where I would leave it and be like,
Yeah.
I don't see it as an us and them. I see it as a, this is good for all of us.
Yeah, man.
Your future spouse included, you included,
Hundreds.
my spouse included,
Hundreds.
me included, your children even included.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
If we're talking Ubuntu, this is it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So from what it sounds like, right, if I was to summarize it. So Mav, on your side, you're like, there are levels to this thing,
Yep.
right? And we should treat it like that. You're an exception. You just don't like anything.
What do you mean I don't like anything?
You don't want. You just
He just
I don't
wants-
want.
What is?
Stars.
I can use the same language. There's levels. But no, there is a level.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everyone is
brother.
family zoned.
On my side.
Hey, family zone, no friend zone here.
Okay, there's no
Come
friends,
on.
just family.
Come on now.
You're my brother, you're my sister.
Come. Hey,
Count on me through thick and thin. So on my side, then I'm just like I think there's.
Vuga or
I think-
Moya.
on my side, I'm like I don't like the concept of levels, but I'm just like I think there's a way in which this can be fleshed out, right?
Okay.
So that's what I think, right? But if I could ask that we maybe then just speak about our experiences where we currently are, because obviously we're not married to ourselves, and we have partners, and our partners have their own views, right?
Yeah.
But in our lives, where do we find, or how do we navigate this when it comes to friendships? And maybe also to qualify, are our wives maybe out there? Like, we want friends. Don't stop me from
I
having
told
friends.
you, my wife is not out looking for homies.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
She has homies.
Yeah.
So she's not out.
Does your wife have friends that she had before you guys got married? Like male friends that she's tight with?
Nah. And
Okay.
and nah. And here's the thing. Me and my wife, we here talk. Come on.
But you were friends, man.
No, we're
Perhaps?
brother and sister.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
But she had brothers
Yeah.
who then disappeared. Not because we were married. Not because she got married.
Yeah.
Other life things, you know. I don't want to out people because
Yeah.
in case they watch this thing and they know who they are. But they just disappeared. But even those dudes were her brothers.
Yes.
So that's...
Okay, cool.
I think similar. And again, for me, it's the whole definitions thing. So there may be guys out there who call themselves my wife's friend, which is okay, it's fine. But I know when it comes to, remember the levels I'm talking about, that's a space I occupy.
Yes.
Whether or not my wife will now ask, so am I Black's friend? Am I Prince's friend? That's between y'all. You can call each other whatever you want.
She's my
But I
sister.
don't lose sweat over you guys
Yeah.
having a conversation. So I'm like, it is what it is. So when I look at it, it's even before. If I have friends or she had friends, that I'm like, it's no longer your friends or my friends, it's our friends.
Yeah.
And that's the
That's a
approach
good
that
point.
we've taken, which is, okay, cool.
Okay.
Are y'all, is it cool? Is it not?
Yeah.
And we take decisions from there. And that is, again, providing a lot of safety.
Yeah.
And even understanding to say, okay, I think y'all go way back, but maybe at that stage in your life, you were here.
Yeah.
You don't hold those views anymore. So does this
Okay.
friendship make sense in light of everything else? You know, so it's
Yeah.
both individual, but more so collective work around who you're then engaging with. So
Okay.
that's how I see it.
So on my side, and I think this is where this is why I'm where I am right now, because I look at my wife and I'm like, she has long-term friendships. Like my wife has friends she's had like 20 plus years. I don't talk to people I went to high school with. Like it's just not me, you know.
Male friends.
She has both. But
Okay.
in the context of this conversation, she has male friends. But I'd actually even go as far as to say these are brothers. These are
Okay.
people who I look at, I'm like, yo, man, actually, thank you for being there in my wife's
true,
life.
I
You
get
get what
that.
I'm saying? And there are other people, though, that would maybe say they are my wife's friend. And I'm just like, yeah.
Masihlangane.
Together.
So that's the reality on my side, where I had to be opened up to this reality that you have brothers that you've had for longer than I've known you. You get what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yeah, man, I appreciate these homies. You know, on my side, I'm just like, I've never been that person. I've got a female friend that I was tight with in varsity, and that's as far as it goes, I would say. And I'd consider her the closest female friend I have, but also because of the time we've spent together. But right now, I'm just like, I don't randomly pick up the phone and be like, hey, how are you doing? Like, it's not that, you know? And I think based on my definition of friendship as well, it's nothing that she would be concerned about. But
I have sisters, bro.
yeah.
And I keep on saying this,
Yeah.
and I think of the creepy uncle, you know? Like, you know, there's that guy, and it's normally like these Zim guys. But anyway, I'm your big brother. And it's normally a creepy guy. Like, he's just a creep. Like, anyway.
Me, I'm not saying
Anyway.
Hey, when you see this guy in Vic Falls, ask him about what he's saying.
big brother. I'm your
Listen,
big brother.
Yeah, big brother. You know, dudes who always say they big brothers, they always creeps. And I'm just saying,
Me,
I'm
not
not
saying
using
anything.
it. I'm not using it in
Yeah.
that sense.
Yeah.
Even with my biological sister, I don't
don't
walk
do that.
around.
Yeah.
I'm your big brother. I'm like, I'm just a brother. We do stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And so the females that y'all would consider friends in my life are sisters. And I'm like, this clear.
That makes sense. Okay.
I think we'd actually agree. I think it's just about how we term it. But when I listen to what you talk about, or what you
Yes.
define as your
Yes.
sisters, I'm like, it's the exact same way
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah, sure.
Where I think in that sense we are very much aligned.
Yeah.
But I actually want to then ask, with So maybe let me start here with the friends that, because there might be people who are in a situation where they've brought in friendships into marriage. How do we navigate that? Where maybe now they're like, you know what, I'm reconsidering, or maybe I need to reconsider this friendship that I have because of maybe how my wife feels and whatever. How do we navigate that conversation? In light of the fact that you can't not just dismiss it and just be like, I let it go.
Yes.
I mean, we spoke earlier about how when you get married, your wife becomes number one. It doesn't matter.
So you're contradicting yourself, K.
No. What I'm saying is, I want us to open the conversation
Once
to
you're in,
someone.
you let it go.
But how does a person navigate it?
Hey, okay, so I'll give my view in the sense that if you have that conversation, you're like, actually, maybe this person doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
On either side. Depending on the level of the relationship that you have, you might need to go and say, hey, look, we used to be this, whatever, and you're not outing your partner. You're just like, we might not engage the same way that we used to before.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm trying to think of the different natures, but we won't cover it, right, for
Yeah.
everyone. You will know the nature of the relationships that you have.
Sure,
And if
sure.
you need to go have a conversation so that you're not hurting the people we're terming sisters now in Black's definition, then go have a conversation.
Yeah, sisters. I've always been my sister.
Yeah. So whatever the nature is, if you as a couple and a collective come together and say, okay, this doesn't make any sense anymore. And it's not every relationship that you're going to have to go have that conversation.
Yeah.
But if you do, I'm like, hey, gents, don't shy away from the conversation. Obviously, you want to be cognizant of the fact that you are protecting your marriage.
Yes.
That's the one side. But also being aware of what you're communicating to the other person.
Sure.
And remember what I was saying prior is if they are your friends and they understand who you are, then they know it's not about them.
Yeah.
And that's what I would see as true, genuine brother, sister, / friends who are not in that intimate space. Because you're not. It's not like I'm being robbed from you. Or the other way around.
Yes.
It's actually, hey, this is better for the collective.
All of us.
For all
Including
of us.
yourself,
And
yeah.
that's not to say, we don't engage or whatever. Whatever that looks like, whatever you guys have agreed it is moving forward, you want to communicate that and communicate that in the best way possible. So there's no blurry lines.
Sure.
Because a sister at least is supposed to be happy when her brother gets married.
Yep.
And we know from African households, Buffet, to sisters
So,
who are jealous, it is witchcraft.
we
That
saying-
is witchcraft. And
are
all
we
of us
saying-
have an aunt who's a witch.
Auntie, no.
My aunts are fine. I love all of my aunts are fine. I love all my aunts. I love my
You're
in-laws.
amazing.
Some of us are blessed. But are we then saying if the brother or the
Yes.
sister had qualms with you or your partner getting married, that means that there were other intentions there, or there was something?
No,
about
not all
that-
the time. Not all the time.
Okay.
So what you're saying is I'm friends with microphone, right?
Yeah, but
And then microphone has comms.
microphone from Zimbabwe.
There's a lot of xenophobia happening here. Xenophobia.
Microphone exemption, Nyerere. Anyway, so microphone has beef that I'm getting married to Lily, right? If microphone does not have valid reasons, like for example, I saw Lily with a bunch of dudes.
Sure.
Okay.
Right? And there's evidence, there's receipts. Microphone just has a feeling, I
Yeah.
saw her. Hey,
Yeah.
Microphone
You
can
dismiss
go
it.
on mute.
I saw her. I saw her.
Mute her.
Yeah, and it's the same. It's the same like leeway I would give my family.
Yeah.
If my mother comes to me and says, "I just have a feeling," I'm like, "I get like you need to give me more."
Yeah.
Maybe you just don't like this chick, and
Yeah.
this. But just in J feeling, bro, you need to give me receipts, right?
Sure.
If it's valid, then sure, I take it. Microphone has been in my life more, for longer, hundreds. But if microphone is fine, right? And then I marry Lily, and then Lily has beef with microphone. right?
You mute.
Mute riding.
Disconnect.
Hectic.
Yeah.
Put back in original package.
Yeah.
Hey, go in the box.
Return to sender.
Hallelujah. Right? But again, it's not that I have beef with microphone. My life has changed.
Yeah.
I asked somebody's child to marry me. I've promised her family that I'm going to look after her. So I need to do right by that promise.
Sure.
And if this child now feels that microphone is just too close, right? It might be not valid, right? But I'm like, hey, listen, I need to prioritize because I chose this one.
Yeah.
I need to prioritize. I'm bringing her into the fold. Microphone, Vanaka, it's not that I hate you, right?
Yeah.
And again, it's like Simba said, set it up nice. It's not that there's an issue with you or whatever the case is.
Sure.
Let me just figure out the situation. It's new. I need to prioritize it. This chick needs to feel like she's number one. We can iron the thing out. That's what marriage is, right? She doesn't like microphone because microphone has bad toes. It's okay. That's not a
Microphone has
loud.
auto-tune. And
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
not like
Loud.
auto-tune
Microphone
out
is
here.
that.
Yeah.
It's not the proper reason.
Sure.
It's fine. I'll distance myself from microphone for now while I figure out the situation because I want to be
Sure.
here for the rest of my
Sure.
life. So then afterwards, we'll talk in a couple of months. Maybe let's not distance ourselves from people because
Yes,
they
yes,
use
yes.
auto-tune, right? And maybe then we'll invite microphone back into our lives. But
Okay.
yeah.
So you've kind of segued into the next part that I wanted to then deal with because I think we've explicitly spoken about what is we've spoken about what we think at the beginning, and then we spoke about the current context. Where are we, like in terms of our lives? Why are we saying the things we're saying? And you briefly touched on that in terms of also your wife becomes your priority. And earlier on we spoke about protection as well.
Yeah.
What's the wisdom behind us being intentional in having healthy opposite sex?
Yeah. Hundreds.
So I think when I look at it, right, because sometimes it's confusing if you're living in the world where this was okay, and then you introduce another party and all of a sudden it becomes an issue, right?
Okay.
So I want to be sensitive and clear in terms of why this shift is necessary. I think one, the element of safety is incredibly important for men and women, but more so I think for women, right? The element of I have someone who I can go and I can confide in and I trust that they have my best interests at heart. That's really what we're trying to do here, is to ensure that there is a level of safety in knowing, remember I talked about the different levels, that when it comes to intimacy, it is you and you alone. Not my father, not my mother, not anyone. This is you. It's about you.
Yeah.
When the world is having an earthquake and I have a choice on who I'm going to help, it is you.
Yep.
We will deal with everyone else afterwards, but it is you. And that's the wisdom that I think we're moving with. And it's the same type of thread because all of that, again, solidifies that foundation that actually we're here together in this. You and me, all the R&B songs talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And unfortunately, for some of us, we have to learn and relearn what that looks like because it's not necessarily conversations that we've had to have or engage with if you were in a space where you had female friends, right? Even this whole chat around defining female friend versus brother, you're going to find that many people didn't have these categories.
Hundreds.
You have this beef that sprouts, but you don't have the conversation. Oh,
Yeah.
wait. What's the issue?
Yep.
And then you hear, people go on all these rants about, no, I never want to have an insecure wife, whatever. And it's like, no, she hold on. Did you actually engage what she was saying?
Yay.
Did you hear her, bro?
Did you hear what she was saying? And that's, again, a half a husband moment. We are all going to have to learn. Because for us, it may not register because of the way we engage. It's like, this is just life. What are you on about? Or no, but you are my number one priority. Me wanting to be friends with this person doesn't imply that you're not my number one. It's like, okay, sure, but
You can.
you
make the
understand
logic.
that.
Yeah.
You understand that
But that's not her experience.
Sure.
and that's the whole element around, I think, the reason why you need to be in tune on that is because
Yeah.
it provides safety, which is to the benefit of your relationship.
100%.
It's literally that. I don't see
That's
any,
good.
Yeah, dog, that's dope. One, I wanted to say to answer that because we haven't had
Yeah.
many examples of husbands who kind of live that out well. At least not in my life, you know. So wives that I've seen, not my age, but wives, husbands before us, wives who tend to, you know, complain about husbands who, and I don't mean complain like in whiny ways, but like genuine concerns that their husbands prioritize other people, whether it's male friends or even female friends before their thing. Makes me think of the book we were chatting about earlier on, the 7 principles that make a marriage work. And I just butchered the title, but
fire book.
Jonathan Chapman or John Chapman.
I know it's Chapman. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, so but the thing he says in that book, which ties to this very topic nicely, right, is that the thing that carries a marriage, right, at least one core element that carries a marriage is friendship.
Yeah, sure.
So how you and your wife start off as friends, right, will then kind of prevent a lot of other things from happening. And I've just seen it in my own marriage as well. But he kind of lays it out. He's done all the proper research for this stuff, which is like pretty amazing. I think go check it out. It's a pretty dope book. But his whole argument or premise is that if you guys are friends, right, there's a level of intimacy, you guys are together. How you argue, how you fight, how you share, you know, dreams, visions, etc., aspirations, will spring from that, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, if I'm a husband, what I've declared to the world
Yep.
is that all other friends,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
don't take priority. This one friend
Yeah.
takes first priority.
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Sure.
And I will, again, you said it earlier, all my energy, all my resources, all my intellect, all my time, I need to be investing it in this friendship to grow this friendship, because this friendship is good for our marriage. If our marriage is good, it's good for our
the
kids.
community as
It's
well.
good for our kids, it's good for our community, etc.,
Amen.
etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, yo, man, if you're a husband, prioritize being friends with
your wife.
Your wife, right?
Sure,
that's good.
Right? And I think safety obviously is a benefit of that, but I don't think as gents or as husbands we've thought about what friendship looks like with our wives. And the only reference for friendship we've had is with other dudes, right? But now once you become friends with a female, the dynamic is different.
It's different, yeah.
And now the dynamic is even far different because not your wife, right? Sure. So if I'm friends with, again, microphone, I don't have to sleep with microphone. I don't have to budget with microphone. I don't have to plan my future with microphone. I don't have to have babies with microphone. So the stakes are not that high.
Yeah.
But my wife, who's my friend, and is somebody that I share all of these other things that I mentioned with, the thing is next level, right?
Yeah.
So even if I step on microphone's toes, she'll say, sorry, blah, 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 or I'll say sorry rather, and she might be like, oh, it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
But if I step on my wife's toes,
It's amplified.
it's amplified. Yes, there's other things we need to fix, but the general assumption in marriage, we know this. Why would you step on my toes? That means you don't love me.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, I need to be investing time in this.
Yeah.
I need to be making sure that she feels safe, she feels loved. So everything here is next level, right? The stakes are high. And so I need to be pouring much into growing this friendship. And I think dudes just need to be aware of that. Right?
Yeah.
Some dudes will say, well, God, I don't get women. You know, she's very emotional. Like, I'm a logical guy. I'm like, dog, even if that's the case, how's about you learn from her and how to sprinkle your logic with some
Exactly,
emotion
with some-
so that you can communicate with her in a way that she understands. Prioritize her, make her feel safe, make her feel loved, make her feel wanted, make her feel like when she's sitting alone, she knows that my friend has my back.
Yeah.
Out of
Yeah.
even her female friends, right?
Yeah.
You know, so
And I think even on that, I mean, I'll say this is my parting shot. For the gents, aspiring husbands who this is still not making sense. Think about it this way. Your daughter gets married. She loves this guy, but is having a challenge with this guy's relationship with another woman. Don't engage the logic right now. In fact, engage the logic, and then think about the emotion that comes with it. What would you tell your daughter? What would you tell that guy? Hey guys, put this thing aside. Fix and focus on your relationship,
Bro,
and then take it.
Like
wherever you want.
if wives are already struggling in some cases with in-laws, mother-in-laws, sister-in, what more?
Friend-in-law.
Microphone.
Just like
No,
then you're putting your wife through a lot. So I would say actually. So one of the things that I focus a lot more on is when you look at, like, in life, things are okay until they're not okay, right? And my thing is, you need to prepare yourself and your marriage for when things get tough.
Yep.
Because they will.
Yep.
It's a definite, it's almost promised.
Yeah.
And that's my thing, where I think I'm more focused on the foundation and the architecture of the marriage to make sure that you don't include unnecessary pressures. Because when things get rough, the friend that she never had an issue with might be a problem. And that's my thing, where I'm just like, if you minimize the influences, if you minimize the distractions, then you have a better chance of being sober-minded when you go through the storms of life.
Absolutely.
Because what we do know is that the storms of life are there. You get what I'm saying? And when we look at the social dynamic right now, it's tough. Like, marriage is under attack. Friendships, there's a lot of ambiguity that goes into male-female friendships.
Situationship.
Bro,
Friends with benefits.
there's a lot that is happening, and we need to protect our wives and ourselves and our children and our marriages from that. And that's the thing I think a lot of the times we don't think about, because maybe she's cool with me going out with microphone. She never said anything, but just the wisdom in you should be like, if something does happen, are you in the clear?
No, hundreds, bro. Where I want to end is this. A husband is listening to this and they thinking, nice, buffet.
Yeah.
But there's just things I'm not finding in my wife. So, like, my wife is cool, you know, she's right, hundreds, but
Dope.
But, like, you know, she doesn't like talking about politics. And Mary is there, you know. She's there with the politic, man. You know, she gets me. We talk. I don't want sex from her. I don't want anything like that.
You didn't marry
I
Mary.
just...
Did you marry Mary?
Did you marry Mary?
Shackles on my feet. You don't want shackles on your feet, Mary. So, yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Listen, and I think you're touching on it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Because what you're failing to understand in that instance is your wife doesn't find everything she needs in you either.
Hallelujah.
So must she now go and get a jack
Hallelujah.
to fill that gap?
Hey, yes, sir.
Hallelujah.
I just heard that unsubscribe there. I just heard that dislike.
Yeah, no. I mean, you lost someone there.
No, I'm just like, let's just be real about it.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't marry Mary. And even if you married Mary because she speaks politics, there are elements Mary doesn't have that your wife
No,
has.
legit. But I also think it's about identifying imperatives. Like, what, like
English imperative.
You can't
Identifying imperatives.
I mean,
I needed to
no, man,
dictionary.
Here's my thing, bro. The conversation about politics, whether it's there or not, like, what does it do to your marriage, having the conversation about politics?
Yeah.
Like, some things are just not that deep.
You can go speak to Jack about politics.
Bro, like, it's there at that point, the truth is it might not even be about politics.
Yeah.
Hey, now ubuwa politique, no. Now.
No, man. Here's the thing. So you went and you married your wife because you identified the most important things in life that you need in a partner.
And maybe
that you
he
have then
didn't.
found
And maybe
in-
this is the first time Jack is hearing this. And that's what he needs to think. I'm just saying, now as a brother,
Yeah, but
I'm
you're
saying
in it.
maybe other brothers out there just went in because they thought this thing was fun.
We dope. We
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
we got
we
history.
cool. We nice. Right? And that's the basis at which they decided.
And
we wanna
if you
get
are
married.
there,
No, then we need a part 2 for that convo.
if you are there,
That one.
still you didn't marry me.
No, 100. She chose you.
And I think when those
Sure.
when you're twitching, because I think there's a lot of times as gents we're like, yeah, but logic says go and find this, and I'm like, okay, but logic says if we put your daughter into this situation, what would you want for her? And then ask yourself, am I the type of man that I would trust with my daughter? If you are not, then you're also not being that man for your wife.
When are you losing our subscribers?
You are toxic.
Sorry, guys, just like and subscribe there.
Favorite word. No, that's true.
But that's true.
Wow.
No, 100%. So what would your guys' last piece of advice be to Bojack then? How do we go about this? Because the reality is there are some people who they now have to go back and do inventory. You know, we have brothers, we have husbands that now have to go back and do inventory.
Yeah. Go have a conversation with your wife, bro.
Yep.
About what friendship in your marriage looks like.
And if your wife doesn't like Mary,
Cut Mary.
Yeah.
Cut Mary. Your wife is more important. You'll get back to Mary. Don't fight for Mary now. When your wife says, Akim Mat, Vanaka, the reasons could be ridiculous. It's fine. You don't have to tell Mary, I'm not going to see you because we don't like your toes. Hey, listen, I just need to go spend more time with my wife.
Yep.
Why? Sort out stuff with your wife. Chat. She's safe. She feels loved. She feels taken care of. She feels like a priority.
Yeah.
Ask her for advice. How do we engage with Mary? Right? Or we're not engaging with Mary. If she says, no, we're not. Hey, Mary, listen, this stuff was cool. It's just got to end. I'm at a different place in my life. Hade. But again, don't be a punk.
Yeah.
Just disappear.
yeah.
Be clear. Be truthful. This is why we're doing this thing. Again, it's not that I hate you or whatever, but I just love my wife more than anyone else.
Yeah.
And I just want to prioritize her. So for me, I'm like, if you have to cut, bro.
Sure.
Your marriage is more important. Your marriage is number one. If there's ways that you can find that accommodate everybody in the picture, hundreds. Married couples have to do this with everything. You have to do this with your family.
Yeah,
You have
finance.
to do it with your career.
The kids.
You have to do it with kids. You have to do it with your own personal lifestyles. Before you came together, you have to take inventory. You have to chop out the text files, take out things, keep what you keep, right? You have to do it. And this area, do not neglect this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because at least we've seen just how easy this could be a thing that causes your marriage to fall apart, right?
Okay.
So
Cool. Marf, on your side?
Look, man, I think same thing. Keep first things first. Start there. And even for those who aren't married, I'm like, be cognizant of that.
Yeah.
Like, if you have relationships that you're like, hey, if I get a lady, she'd be uncomfortable with this. Or even if on the flip side, if you're like, if I had a woman and she had a friend like me on the other end, would I be comfortable? Hey, just avoid it so that you walk in and it's known. All right, cool. You are number one. And even if within the other friendships, you need to have that conversation. It's not awkward. It's not unknown. It's just, hey, remember, this is how we've been operating.
Sure.
I have someone now, and I need to focus and put my energy there. And in some cases, it might not even require a conversation because now, next thing, there's a lot of meetings, coffee meetings being had to discuss the change of friends. Like, dude, some of them you actually
Let's
don't have
meet
to
at the
engage.
hotel to discuss why my wife doesn't want you.
Wabona. I said coffee shops, no hotels.
Although I would really emphasize on that, bro, because I think that's where the thing becomes messy, and then marriage gets a bad rap.
Yeah.
Just communicate.
Yeah.
Don't treat people like dirt.
No, definitely.
You were friends. You were cool. Blah, blah.
You'll notice things have changed.
Yeah, just have the conversation, man. You know, because I think a lot of people who are left in the cold when their friends get married, then they look at marriage like that's the thing that took my friend from me.
Sure.
And then they have negative views, perspectives, connotations towards marriage, and I'm like, marriage is not the issue.
Yeah.
It's just that you were the punk who did not communicate. Just
Yeah.
go communicate, lay your cards on the table, this is where we're going. If you're getting married, you're old enough to be mature to have that conversation.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Good. So on my side, I think it's about fortifying your relationship for the times.
Are you busy with this English?
Imperative.
45.
I mean,
Eh?
ish, this English got me my wife.
Cheers.
Hey!
I need
She's
to
a
do
lawyer
justice.
after all.
I had to come straight.
What is jurisprudence?
I had to-
I just said that word because I learned it in law school. I don't know what it means.
Arre.
I had to come straight, bro.
Yo,
45.
But my thing is just
Listen properly.
protect your marriage for when things get tough.
Yeah.
Protect your marriage for when things get tough, because you don't want to have unnecessary things lying around that are going to trip you guys over when things are going south. So
100.
that's just my thing. But yeah,
Word.
this has been the conversation, gents. Yeah, if anything, please do continue the conversation in the comment section. Let us know what you think. If there are any issues maybe that you want us to double click on, please do let us know as well. And then we'll follow it up maybe either in the comment section or we'll do another episode. But the
After
conversations that are coming up, it's the kind of conversations that we live with. So it's not a topic we address and then we leave. So
Yeah.
That's that. After the pilot, airplane ilendile.
Hallelujah.
Airplane ilendile.
Go out there and be a full husband.
No,
if
friends.
you're a husband, if you're a half husband, come back and
back.
let's chat next week again.
yes, sir.
Word.
Deuces.